Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith, the podcast where we talk about three things: fitness, health, and cancel culture. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We have received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as eczematous plaques and hearing ear dog, so I'll try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Hey, Dr. London, I have a very important update. A few weeks ago, I announced my candidacy for president. And I am running in the year 2023 because all of these other suckers are waiting until 2024 for whatever reason. So I'm going to do it this year, beat them all to the punch. Then I'm like king or whatever. I've hit a bit of a speed bump that I thought maybe I could talk to you about, maybe get some advice. You're not my campaign manager, but in a way, you're like my assistant, I guess. Sidekick.
Yeah, you tell me to do stuff, and you did this before you started
minion.
running, and now, yeah. You say, I'm running for president, but I'm going to make you run.
Oh, yeah.
This is the way you put it.
Yeah, at least an hour a day on the treadmill.
Yeah, got it, the cardio.
But,
okay, yes.
Dr. London, I've never done this stuff before, and so I don't really know who else is running in this, like, race to be the king or whatever. But I do know that I have to pick someone to really hate so I can like put their face on a bumper sticker and then do the big red circle with a line through it to say like, no, I've got to do attack ads, things like that. So obviously I went with my personal enemy, you, to sort of represent the opposite of all my beliefs, which my beliefs are mostly related to like not listening to doctors.
Yeah, or not listening to Dr. London is, I feel like
that is the more specific belief, and yeah, definitely represents my beliefs a little bit more than just all doctors.
Yeah.
So far the campaign has been very, very anti Dr. London based, but I've sort of run out of things. I found a lot of the things that I clearly hate about you, other people don't seem to care about. Like, I did a big 30-minute, like, late night, 3 o'clock in the morning PSA, one of those kind of ads, about those socks of yours that I just think they suck.
Yeah, the airplane socks?
Yeah, they just look like an airplane.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to be like, here comes the airplane, but then you don't eat it.
But then you can't fit them in shoes because it has, like, wings and stuff.
Yeah, well, the props on the airplane, It's built to be a realistic model, just as a sock.
It's just, to call it a sock even at that point when it's mostly hard plastic, I don't know what it is, but I think you're just shoving your foot into a toy.
Okay, well,
but anyway, I spent this whole ad on that, and no one cared. No one thought it was a big deal. I clearly was my issue.
Well, hold on. How do you know? Like, did you survey people about it?
Oh, yeah. We do live surveys every single time. There's usually 3 or 4 people who are watching, and we usually call them up. They've got nothing better to do.
Your assumption, yes.
Dr. London, I need more stuff to, like, attack you about.
Yeah.
So can you do you have a few at least new things that I could take issue with that other people will care about? Because, again, I don't know. I ran out of ideas, and I was like, he likes macaroni and cheese too much. But, like, I like mac and cheese too, so I had to, like, lie about the amount you eat and stuff. I'm running out of ideas.
Okay, I mean, on top of my head, something that you've been annoyed at is I usually don't eat the, like, chicken fingers that are made into dinosaur shapes. I like them made into a lot of other shapes, like the states, because I'm trying to memorize them.
I don't mind that. I just don't know why you need to start with the dinosaur shape and then reshape it. You can start with just a normal chicken finger and then cut it however you want. Okay, so new bumper sticker. It's your face. big red circle with 2 lines through it this time. And then London couldn't eat a dino nugget if he tried. Because at least other people will think you're weak with that. They'll be like, oh, even if he tried, he wouldn't be able to do that? Because I could do that.
But we haven't tested it. We don't know that that's true.
Dr. London, this is a truth-telling podcast. You have to be honest. That's the one rule of this podcast is you have to be honest.
I mean, I just don't know. So, like these attack ads, like maybe you should hold back. Maybe this thing is corrupting you as a person. This whole, once you get political, I have noticed you've been pretty harsh about these ads. And like, I just, I think if I put my mind to it, maybe I could eat a dino nugget.
This is just this soft snowflake attitude. You're so sensitive. And to people who just tell it like it is. Do you think I'm the only one out there thinking, why doesn't he just, get maybe like a chicken patty and start with that and then cut it into any shape he wants? Because that's kind of mushy and chicken nugget like.
Yeah, but I have to, the breading and the
breading's part of it.
I get that you've surveyed people about this. And like, I get that it worked, but I don't know.
Listeners, vote for Cameron, president of 2023. Dr. London is my vice president, and also I'm running attack campaigns against him.
Cameron, we have a sponsor today.
That's right, Dr. London.
All right, so as we know, first impressions matter. And a lot of times the first impression that you make on a person is going to be that first layer, that first impression. It's going to be your skin. It's that first layer of anything that they see.
Well, and just real quick, just like if you had a bag over your head or something like that.
Yeah, if that could be your first impression. But Caldera Lab, clinically proven to reduce wrinkles and fine lines and signs of aging, Caldera Lab is a leader in men's skincare and is here to save the day. In that specific respect.
Yeah, and so if you are used to wearing a mask of your own face, but that looks, maybe it has clearer skin, just better looking, more vibrant skin, maybe instead of that, get some of this stuff, improve your skin, and then you just look okay, and then you don't have to wear the suffocating like mask of your own face.
Because during the summer, it gets pretty hot whenever you layering in the summer is pretty... It can be difficult depending on where you live. Like we live in the South.
And depending on how complicated your face is, it's going to affect how many props are involved.
Yeah, it's a very involved process. And you can skip all of that using our code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com to enjoy 20% off their best products. So Caldera Lab creates high-performance men's skincare products, and the regimen leads off their product lineup. It's a twice-a-day routine to transform your skin. Inside the bundle, the regimen, you'll find the Skincare Dream Team, the Clean Slate, the Base Layer, and the Good. So the Clean Slate starts and ends your day, and this face wash will leave all skin types refreshed. I use it, and I gotta say, it actually does that.
Let me just say, if you are going to recommend this product to a friend, do not lead with, hey, there's clearly a problem with your skin, let's fix this. So if you've got a buddy who is, say, for example, wearing a helmet to cover up his face or a mask of his own face that looks slightly better than his face, and you want to recommend this product, just get it yourself, show him the results, and then maybe that'll convince them. But don't lead with, hey, oh my God, your skin, what's wrong with it? You really need to get that fixed because it's just sort of hideous. Don't do that.
So anyway, the base layer is your daily moisturizer that hydrates your skin and absorbs it fast, leaving you with a matte finish so you can start your day confidently. Then you have the Good. That's when you get to nighttime. Before bed, you do this. It's a clinically proven multifunctional serum that helps your skin look tighter and smoother, as well as helps reduce the visibility of wrinkles and fine lines. And it's got a lot of antioxidants. And I use it and it's great. But you don't want to sneak up on your friend at night while he's about to go to sleep and drip it onto his face. Right.
You don't want to say, hey, wrinkly, let me help you out there, and then lather his face in it.
I'd say that's better than what a lot of the feedback we've been getting, because we've been getting a lot of our listeners who do an old-fashioned B&E. They break in. They don't get the consent. I think consent is really important for this. You want them to know that they are getting this treatment. And that's how clinical trials and everything work. You actually get the permission. So if you're going to, I guess a term might be vandalize your friends with this.
If you're going to go to your wrinkly or ugly or just bad skinned friend, if you're like, okay, he's not going to listen to me, I'm going to have to make him do this. Don't do that. Let's take a step back.
Yeah. And like, the step back is really important because a lot of it's physical step back if you're that close, if you're close enough to where there's a question. But step back, don't apply it until they say, okay, I would like to try it. They also have this eye serum called the Icon. It addresses the 3 most common skin concerns around the eye: fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. They're made of top-tier ingredients, and it's a great way to start your daily routine. Takes less than a minute morning and night, and once again, reduces the wrinkles, fine lines, signs of aging. Get 20% off with our code JOCKDOC at calderalab.com. That's 20% off at calderalab.com by using code JOCKDOC. Jump into skin and first impression royalty with Caldera Lab. So that's our sponsor today. Also with us is Digital in the House.
We've got to run it, we gonna need. And I've been saying things like, pretty please. I've been waiting here with this disease. If I stay or go, I admit defeat. Everything becoming clearer, lightning strikes, it's so severe, it shakes the ground below. Illumination magnified, I'm standing by the riverside. I think I'm in too deep. I know what you're thinking, what you've been afraid of. It's not gonna be the same as it was, as it was. I know what you're thinking, what you've been afraid of. It's not gonna be the same as it was, as it was. I know what you're thinking, what you've been afraid of. It's not gonna be the same as it
And later, Cameron tells me that we can expect a special guest.
That's right, Dr. London.
Yeah, so look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. For a long time, our listener demographic was primarily composed of cat callers, guys who try to teach cats to use phones, to make phone calls. However, in our efforts to cater to them, we found that we were neglecting the many bot accounts that download our podcast. This week's feedback comes from bots on YouTube. User at Cecilia Mackey commented on episode 205 with "Marvelous! Let's be friends." And a few days later, user at we_run_the_house commented on the same video with "Interesting! Let's be friends." Are they both strategizing this to be friends with us? And is that good or bad? It feels like an attack.
Yeah, well, you feel that way when anyone asks you, like, do you want to be friends? Like, even if it's like Facebook or Instagram or whatever. You feel like you're like, well, why? What info do you need? I can tell you the info you want right now. Why do you want to look at it so bad?
I just say look it up. Yeah, you can look up my like the fun facts you'd find out about from being friends with me. Like, just look it up online. I post it.
Yeah, you say go to my website if you want to learn this stuff. Why do you need to see pictures of me? Are you a pervert?
Yeah.
Are you a pervert? Like, you keep accusing people of that.
Yeah, and I say, why do you need to see pictures of me? If you want that, check the website.
Yeah,
I post a lot.
I would imagine how I can see how two people saying that back to back could really, really freak you out. But Dr. London, I do think this is a genuine attempt at friendship, because last night I swung by your house because I was dropping off your newspaper. I'm not a newspaper boy. I am your newspaper boy for the Cameron Times, the morning issue.
Yeah, which is, I'll say, honestly, a lot better than what the evening issues have been lately. Like, the gossip column on the evening issues got really personal just about me. I like the morning one.
Yeah, it was mostly food stuff, and it was mostly the mac and cheese and things like that again. And like rumor mill. But Dr. London, as I was swinging by early this morning, I saw two people in sort of like fun animal masks standing outside of your bedroom window, peering right in.
Wow.
And so those are two people who want to be your friend. You know, they're not just shallow and all about Instagram. They actually want to see the real you. And so I imagine they're going to come and visit again. Maybe tonight, maybe another night. But yeah, these are real friends.
So do I have to say yes? Because they said, let's be friends.
Yeah, you still have a choice. I'm just saying, tomorrow night, at some point, your little Ring camera is going to show sort of a fisheye view of a scary masked person peering in, and then the person's going to say something like, Dr. London. Or maybe they're like singing a children's song, but in a spooky way.
Or they're levitating, their head spinning around, yeah. Like, because I get all that stuff from, like, as a greeting, but it's just the friendship part.
That's your choice, Dr. London. Cold as ice.
Anyway, so, thank you for listening. Thank you for all the feedback. But now for today's medical topic, Parkinsonism. Parkinsonism is the loss of cells in the substantia nigra in the brain, resulting in a decrease in dopamine, which leads to a significant movement disorder presenting with tremor, gait disturbance, and rigidity. There's no test for Parkinsonism, so the diagnosis is based on the clinical presentation. Patients with Parkinsonism will generally be someone 50 years or older who presents with a tremor, muscular rigidity, slow movements, and a shuffling gait with unsteadiness on turning and a tendency to fall. Their writing will tend to be small, which is called micrographia, and patients with Parkinsonism will also have a limited facial expression, which is known as hypomimia, or what you might call a poker face.
And let's get out ahead of this. Just really quickly. The rumor that Michael J. Fox faked going back in time that one time is completely false. We saw it in the movie. Oh, it was special effects. It was done in a studio. No. He drove that car. It went back in time. That's it. So yeah, all this talk of Michael J. Fox, he's faking this, whatever. Like, let's shut that down now.
Yeah, people don't understand that, like, cars back then were able to go, like, and it's, there are all these emissions requirements now, but back then cars could go as fast as 88 miles per hour. It used to be possible.
Yeah, it's inconceivable at this point.
It was a full completely metal car too. So, like, I get that you're incredulous, whatever, and that, if you go even farther back, depending on the movie, they drove a train that fast. I get it. Crazy. But technology was more advanced back then in the 80s. So once again, the skepticism over it, I recognize. But Michael J. Fox really did go back in time, and he really did flirt with his mom. And that's just his life. Okay, patients with Parkinsonism may be lightheaded when standing up. So when the average person stands up, their heart rate speeds up within seconds to accommodate for the force of gravity pulling blood down from the brain. But this increased heart rate response that would normally accommodate for that is impaired in Parkinsonism, which leads to lightheadedness when standing up from a seated position. Treatment for mild Parkinsonism is with anticholinergic medications such as benztropine and trihexylphenidone. These relieve the tremor and rigidity, but have adverse effects of dry mouth, worsening prostate hypertrophy, and constipation occurring more frequently in older patients. Another treatment for mild disease is amantadine, and this can be used in older patients who cannot tolerate those anticholinergic medication side effects.
Now, of course, I will concede that in the second movie, yes, the whole thing about going into the future was not real. That was just movie magic. They were making a movie. It's just entertainment. But Michael J. Fox, no one claimed otherwise. Like, everyone knew that's what it was. It's just...
I'm in a different camp on that one, because I think that most of what time travel currently is that we can do is to the future. It's just second by second. And I think that at the time...
It's mostly like taking a nap, honestly.
Yeah, part of taking a nap is... So I think that they did go to the future, but not as far as they claimed, and they exaggerated a little bit within that.
Oh, I see that.
They traveled at a normal rate into the future.
But it still doesn't change that the first movie...
back in time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For patients with severe disease of Parkinsonism, which would mean an inability to care for themselves, the best initial therapy would be dopamine agonists such as pramipexole and ropinirole. Apomorphine or rotigotine, which is a patch, may also work. The most effective medication for severe Parkinson's disease is carbidopa-levodopa, which is sort of the most, if you know treatments, that'd be the most famous one. Most Parkinsonism cases are idiopathic, meaning that we do not know the cause. But some cases are caused by medication that reduce dopamine levels. So make sure to rule those out as causes first when running your differential.
And then the third one, they did go back in time, but the horses, they actually use like scooters. But again, you can watch the behind the scenes features on the DVD to see that. It's not like a secret.
Yeah. And once again, it's just time travel. Like, people like to pretend that they know everything about physics, but sometimes they don't.
No, I do. That's my thing. That's what I know about.
That is your thing. Your hobby. All right, Cameron, you said that we have a guest today. Is that right?
That's right, Dr. London. We have a very exciting guest.
Okay. Well, hello there. My name is drlondonsmith.com. This is our producer, Cameron. What was your name?
Hello. I am Hippie Homemaker. How are you?
Hi. Well, I guess I'm all right.
Huh. London doesn't get asked that question very often, and so it kind of blows him away.
That breaks my heart.
But sometimes it's like wonderment, like right now. Sometimes it sort of pushes him into an existential crisis, though. So Hippie Homemaker, is that your like actual name?
Only on my birth certificate.
Oh wow, so you were named that at birth. So Hippie Homemaker, I have to ask, is that also a description of who you are?
Absolutely, and you can also throw in the crazy cat lady in there too.
Oh.
Growing up, did you have this name and then think that you have to live up to it?
No, I actually had the vision in my head, and then I started living up to it.
Well, okay, sorry, tell me about this vision.
Like every normal little girl does. We go out, we pick flowers, we put them in a pot, we make them into stew, we say words around them, we give them away, we sprinkle it around. It's the little hippy dippy.
Yeah, that sounds about right, Dr. Lynn. Did you not have this sort of similar experience? Finding stuff, like foraging, maybe different types of mushrooms or whatever, making it into a tea? Just kind of going nuts?
No, what threw me was I didn't grow up as a little girl. That part is throwing me. But yeah, no, the rest, I went and picked flowers and various herbs and cooked them up in a pot and, had vision.
This is not unlike my former product that has unfortunately been banned by the FDA, Buddy Beer, which we haven't talked about in a long time, which was a beer mostly consumed by kids 9 to 12 and was sort of causing them to spiral. But they were tripping out on it so hard. Like, that's the thing. Just like when we were kids, that's what I wanted to bring back, that magic.
Yeah, it's just, in Cameron's defense here, he didn't initially try to market it to that age group. That was just the age group that loved it.
No, that's just what happened. They said this is the only one we have easy access to.
Was there a big old teddy bear on the front?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely like a Comic Sans like fun font. Some of the letters were like turned around backwards. It came with like a Crayola, like one of those small sets of Crayola crayons.
Oh my God.
Well, to open the crayon box, yeah.
Yeah, that makes me want to drink beer now. I totally get it.
Yeah. Well, the FDA didn't get it.
Well, the FDA doesn't really know what it's doing.
Yeah, exactly. What are your hippie homemaker habits these days? What does a hippie homemaker look like?
Well, it looks like there's an essential oil or an herb for everything in life. There's also a vibration for everything. And time travel is not just the physical body, it's just your consciousness.
I mean,
Cameron, I don't know if is this gonna make you debate or is this gonna make you agree very hard?
Well, it was going to go two different ways. I was going to say essential oils, there's one thing essential oils they cannot cure, and it is the rash that has consumed my lower torso. Look, I understand if it helps you sleep or whatever, but I know for a fact there is not an essential oil out there, or at least a combination that can deal with that. But besides everything else, totally fine with. Time travel, yes. Consciousness.
And does this help to because I'm actually having a home built. So whenever you describe being a homemaker, does the essential oil and time travel through consciousness, does that help with making a home?
Read it's called saging or cleansing a home. So yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it's perfect for if you're moving in or if you're just having bad juju in your house for sure.
Okay, because my contractor kept saying, like, I do need to consult with a homemaker, preferably a hippie one. So, and I have been shopping around, so I'm hoping maybe you can give me some tips for when because it's partially built now. We have a chimney.
Okay, perfect. So you have fire. That's one element. Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of fires.
Yeah, let's set up Dr. London's house to be kind of a hippie paradise. That you said you've always wanted that, Dr. London.
Yeah, no, like part of it, yes. I want to have a hippie paradise room, but I also want to have a purely scientific, sort of anti-hippie room as well.
Like a nerd room.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of test tubes and Bunsen burners instead of a chimney.
The virgin room. Your bedroom.
Well, yeah, I feel like we're just being redundant at this point. Yes.
Now, there's plenty of women out there that are into that. Haven't you seen The Big Bang Theory? Leonard gets Penny in the end. They all get women, except for Raj, right?
Spoilers! Spoilers!
That show's been over for forever.
Oh, that's sad to hear. So, the house.
Oh yeah, what can we do, Dr. Lennon? Let's get his house right and also get his vibe right because his vibe and aura are kind of fucked.
Okay. Well, easiest thing to do, you could take a bunch of balloons and blow some smoke in them. Keep them around your house. And then when you're feeling bad, you could just pop them wherever that negative energy is. The smoke will help clear out anything.
And just cigarette smoke for that?
Absolutely.
Keep it easy?
Okay, so this is one.
And do you try to huff it in as quickly as possible once you pop it?
I mean, I can't say that. However, you could do whatever it is you want to. Get creative with that. Use that right brain. Pretend like you're lamazing.
It's so refreshing to hear a guest who says, I can't say that, because most of our guests really seem to take the liberty. So as far as the smoke thing, like I said, I have a chimney. And I have had several parts of a house, but I've actually brought in a few other hippie homemaker types. Sorry, I don't want to type it. But homemakers, alleged homemakers, who really emphasize the fire and the smoke. And so I've been building parts of the house and then losing it. So the chimney has been what's stood through all of it. And I guess I'm just wondering, is there a way to do the smoke without burning my house down every single week? Because my contractor is loving it, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure you're just keeping him employed for forever. In times like these is perfect. Yeah, that's when you get the earth around, right? Like go collect some rocks, go on a little adventure, collect all the rocks, fill your hands up as high as you can, and then just put them around the fire so that'll contain it. And then put your curtains back too. That'll help.
I do want to say, let's not encourage Dr. London to get too many rocks, because again, too many rocks are going to have him questioning, like, where did this come from? How is a rock formed? And he's going to spiral, and we need to.
Well, and they're like usually there's some like little mark on them or something that makes me start to think, are they my pet rock? And like, is there a rock college? Is that in Boulder, Colorado? Do I have to make money and put that into account and save money for all these rocks to go to college? How do you educate a rock? Is that difficult? How much do you have to pay the professors? Is there a staffing issue there? Because once again, it's educating a rock.
Okay. Dr. London, calm down. Whoa, buddy. Whoa. We're talking about your home, talking about your new home. Let's talk about let's talk about the dining room and kitchen. What can we do to really add a hippie flair to Dr. London's? Can we put something in his food that calms him down, basically?
You could put some lavender. Eating flowers is really good. Dandelion. You just go right in the garden, pick it up, put it on your plate. It'll be good for like a day or two.
Okay, so to have a garden built, how expensive? Because my contractor said it's going to be about $50,000 for that. And
if you want to have a good one, which you do, you're going to want to invest the money up front because it's going to save you a lot of time, effort, and energy in the long run.
Okay.
Make your life easy.
Yeah, because if you think about it, how much lavender do you go through?
So much. Especially
within
if you dry
a year,
it out.
Within a year, it's paying for itself.
Okay.
And then you could sell it too. Look, we just made you side hustle.
Okay. Because he kept saying like his crew was going to come in and really do that garden. And I didn't, like he said, every day they'll need to come by and really take over the garden.
Oh wow, that's a lot of maintenance. So it's $50,000 a year.
No, $50,000 initially, and then all like that's to build the thing. And then he said like, yeah, you'll they're not hourly, they are salary workers. So, and so I got to provide dental, health insurance, all that for them as well. Because like I do believe in paying our workers, obviously, like, they might be doing manual labor, but that's no reason to, treat them as anything less. So, so gardening, hire the crew, get the lavender. Okay. So that's the dining room then.
Yeah, you definitely need some sage too, though, for sure.
Oh boy. Okay. So he did bring up that option. The contractor did, but he said he was like running his hands through his hair. He's like, "Oh boy, I don't know if we can do that."
Listen, whose house is this? Didn't we just say you're going to invest in yourself and your future? Your house needs sage. This is how you cleanse and clear it for generations on end. You're not just like setting you up; your future family is being set up too.
And do you really want to be the only sucker 5 years from now who didn't invest, another $25,000 on top of the $50,000 to add sage?
Okay, yeah, that's on the low end, but yeah, he said like, cause he kept talking like sage was pretty big, important import, and the tariffs these days are like, ugh.
Oh yeah, he was saying they were insane.
Yeah, to import it and then plant it. I guess I'm not honestly. I didn't. It's all this technical construction talk.
He said you have to export half of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once again, he said at a certain point, it'll be pulling so many nutrients from the earth that I'm going to need to start paying the city and get a separate manufacturing company going to handle the amount of sage that I'd be producing. So,
is there a cheaper alternative to sage? Maybe like a gum he can chew or something?
The one that comes to mind is xanthan gum, but I'm not sure how much you want to be chewing on that.
Oh, the zebra gum? The gum with the zebra on it?
No, but I remember that. Those tattoos never worked.
It's just supposed to be a stencil. You take it to your tattoo artist and then they...
Oh. Yeah, I must have missed that. That's my bad.
Okay, well, and that does bring up, though, my tattoo room. So I get that, after a heavy meal of sage or lavender, you're going to want to go and relax in the tattoo parlor part of the house. For any parlor.
I assume you'll want to
lighting.
do henna as well, right?
Yeah, like
That's
if
very
the kids are
hippie
over.
homebody.
Yeah.
Homemaker.
I mean, like, if I'm being honest, I do want something pretty permanent most of the time. So, and like, I just love needles. I'm a doctor, so
I'd still maybe invest in like a permanent full-time henna guy. So then you just get it reapplied every like 10 days. So it's basically permanent, but it doesn't have all of those toxins.
Anyway, so what should the tattoo parlor look like, I guess is what I'm asking. Like, what aesthetic?
I mean, definitely all white, almost like your background. Nothing anywhere. Needles, alcohol.
It'll look very clinical.
Correct.
Which is good because my bedroom, I know I talked about all the test tubes and stuff. My bedroom is more of a dungeon-y feel. So,
I was thinking this would be more like a closet kind of thing, right? The tattoo room's in the closet. You don't need that big of a space.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you just
I do
need
have
room for your henna guy who you've hired full time, and then you
and my tattoo artist as well, and then also all my friends who come in to like pitch different tattoo ideas in the middle of the session.
Well, this is
because we like to mix it up.
You're just describing sardines at this point. You and a bunch of your friends can all get in the closet together.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and then
well, we can talk about the spookiest part of the house, Dr. London, which is the attic. Now, the attic I do know is where most ghosts hang out, and also, like probably phantoms.
Some in my house do that. We've with all of the burning and renovating that I've been kind of doing on accident. We've had a lot of ghosts join in the living situation. It usually happens during a house party, so. A lot of ghosts.
So what can we do? I think getting rid of the ghosts isn't really an option, but if we could calm them down, because they're all very Dr. London-y types.
You know what they always say, go into the light, walk into the white light. So you have to get rid of everything white, everything that is bright light. Get the darkness, embrace the darkness. They're not going to come to that.
And if that's where you're going to keep all your clothes, you are going to just have to sort of blind choose how you dress every day,
or just choose it by whatever lights up in the black light.
How many black light clothes do you have?
I guess I'll just have to go shopping for if this is how I have to live to have a house where my recently deceased friends are.
I mean, what about this like, you're here in this podcast studio with us. How's the vibe? How's it feel? What can we do to, our chakras or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Align the chakras, embrace the aura. We'll definitely remember to breathe. There it is. Let it out. Open your heart.
I'm not falling for it.
Oh, well, then get up and dance. That's definitely what you need more of. I mean,
he'll do that.
That's decent, but you got better in you. I know it.
Thank you. People don't always notice that I have butter in me, but like I did eat a bunch of rolls prior.
Perfect. Then get up and dance. Let it all out. That's what you guys need. That's what your vibe needs. Just a little bit more fun. It's very serious, especially with the coat, the white coat. Obviously, you're a doctor, but you need to lighten up some.
Yeah. And I do feel like the dancing does translate really well to this audio medium. So, like, it's...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
People can feel that energy.
You just gotta make sure that you make sounds with it, too. Like, stomp on stuff or something.
I think I feel like we're at a good place. And I feel like on that note, it might be time to do sort of the dirty work here.
Oh, you're talking about chores?
Yeah, we gotta do them.
Do them, and we've skipped a few weeks now. Let me explain what Dr. London's talking about. We have been neglecting everything on our to-do list for a while now, so we invented this fun wheel that we spin almost every week, and whatever it lands on, that is the chore, that is the task that we have to do. And so, Miss Hippie Homemaker, would you be so kind to spin that big old wheel that's behind you right now?
Okay, this one. Okay, so this is, of course, from the mayor, who's always hassling us. The rhino that we rescued from the neighborhood poachers is losing self-confidence. So come up with affirmations and mottos to get him ready for his audition to be in the zoo. We do run a rescue program from the neighborhood poachers, and this often comes up.
I can tell you what my motto is when I'm not feeling confident, and I need some words of affirmation to sort of tell myself. I look myself in the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes, because if you can't look yourself in the eyes, then you can't look other people in the eyes. You know what I mean? Because your vision. But all that to say, you know what I say? I look at myself and I say, Producer Cameron, you are okay. You didn't do anything wrong. All you were trying to do was drive a car 88 miles per hour so you could go back in time. And obviously that was not possible. So yes, it flipped out of control and it crushed that guy. It landed on that guy and it crushed him. But that's okay. You didn't know, or you knew that, but like you thought you could do it anyway.
Hippie, do you have any suggestions for a motto or a mantra, anything for the rhino?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of gonna follow on Cameron about looking yourself in the mirror. And I feel like since dancing is totally the way to do it, he's got to start stomping his feet, right? And then he's looking himself dead in the eye, and he sees all these people looking at him, and he just reminds himself, if you can't laugh at yourself, make fun of others.
Wow. Yeah. Honestly, great work. Okay. He's not encouraged by that. I don't know how he's going to make it. I guess. Okay. So for me, it's just sort of what I do every day. I look in for me, it's a black mirror. And then I, turn it on.
Matches your soul.
Yeah. Well, it's my phone, really. I turn it on and then I scroll through TikTok, and then I look for one that's an affirmation. That's really what I do to tell myself. I go through and I hope that I'll find one. So far, I haven't found like an affirming video. I think the algorithm knows that I don't feel confident, and it kind of wants to reinforce that. All right. I think that's about time to call it. Thank you so much for being on here, Hippie Homemaker. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Do you have any friends who are out there, or any family members who you want to promote? Give a shout out.
Well, you're my friend, right? We could be friends.
Okay. And okay. How do we? Do you need something of mine? Is there? Because
no, just your love. That's all you have to do. Just love yourself. That's all I want.
No, my information. Yeah. So if you just go to drlondonsmith.com, it's all there.
And then I can find out how I can get in the crazy suit standing outside your window tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Like honestly, that does seem to be the approach. Thank you so much once again, Hippie Homemaker, for being on. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Digital and Host.
There's an essential oil or an herb for everything in life. There's also a vibration for everything. And time travel is not just the physical body, it's just your consciousness. Time travel is not just the physical body, it's just your consciousness. Consciousness.